Welcome into the AT&T Fan Connection, where we take your questions and comments and we respond, mostly in a good way. Jordan, how are you? This is your time to shine. Welcome. Why are you wearing a Liverpool jersey? For what purpose?
Because I support my club even if they don't win.
Oh, that old chestnut.
Oh, nice. Nice one. Okay.
Yep.
Did you? Where were you watching the game this weekend?
I was home.
What did you say the moment Eddie Nketiah chest it down, left foot volley, bang,
bang?
What did you say?
I don't think I can say what I said on this podcast, but
no, you can. We're unfiltered.
A really good friend of mine who became a Liverpool fan as a way to sometimes people need a team in order to get into a sport that they don't know. And he's been trying to convince me to become a Bills fan because I don't know anything about American football. And so he was watching and he texted me and he was like, "What the actual fuck?" And I was like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, but you did him a disservice. You should have made him an Everton fan so he could suffer.
The suffering is not necessary, guys.
It is.
It's not.
It is. You became a Liverpool fan, and guess what? Everything's nice and comfy and cozy. We spend lots of money. We win. Blah blah. No, you spent money in the Brendan Rodgers era. Tell the people you spent money. You spent a fortune on Andy Carroll. The money was spent. You just stunk. You beat me.
And sometimes that's true. Sometimes you spend a whole lot of. You guys were just talking about Manchester United. Sometimes you have a lot of money and you still suck. And so why make things harder than they need to be? I also think that if you have a friend who already has a club, assuming their club so that you can build a group of people who really love a club is fun.
I know. I'm just mad because even those terrible Liverpool teams put a whooping on me. So that's just how.
I'm sorry, Tim.
That's all right. Let's jump in.
Let's talk about some questions.
Yes.
These are kind of interesting questions. They're a little different than some of the questions we've had in the past. So this first one is directed at Landon, but I think you can both answer this question because it is about jerseys. This question is from Todd via YouTube. Landon, when you were in the Premier League, how many jerseys would you use in a season? And maybe speak a bit about the equipment side that soccer fans don't see. I see some players sign jerseys. They go for thousands of dollars, but other times a player will just give one to a fan. Do you have a set number of jerseys from the team, or how does that work?
Well, first of all, mine did not go for thousands of dollars. If you check eBay, it's $29.99 max. I do not have. I don't have the perfect answer because it always depended on the equipment manager or the kit man, as they say. So, I used to have one in San Jose. We called him Monty. This guy was the cheapest dude you've ever met. So I'd be like, Monty, it's my best friend. I've known him since I was 15. Kyle Beckerman. Can I trade today? You go, no, mate, no chance, no chance. I go, just wonder. I'll buy it myself. You go, no.
Yeah.
And so some equipment managers are so hell bent on keeping every jersey. And so it used to be a budget thing in MLS, which is crazy to say, but literally that was $100 coming out of the budget. Yeah. And then in LA, Raul Vargas, the man, the absolute legend, has been there since day one in LA. Literally anything I needed, he'd be like, "What do you need? Give it to me." So how many would I go through in a season? I assume you don't take the jersey home and wash it and bring it back. So I'm assuming, pretty much the number of games, but I would always get a new jersey at halftime too. I would change my jersey at halftime too. And I don't know if everyone does that.
Yeah. No, so I'm the same. So in the Premier League, we were getting, you get 2 shirts a game, right? I would always change at halftime as well, LD. So first half shirt, put it in the bin, take the second half shirt. So I'd always wear 2. And then I wouldn't keep my jersey after the game unless there was some sort of significance, or if I played well and kept a clean sheet. I don't even know. I would trade a lot. I would oftentimes trade jerseys. So if I traded a jersey, then obviously one of the 2 comes out and has to be replaced. But if there was any significance on the game for whatever reason, if we beat a big 6 team, Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, something like that, if the derby games I kept, yeah. I mean, for me,
but you would get Tim. They would say you can have 2 every game.
Yeah,
you're allowed to keep these 2.
You wouldn't take 2, but you could definitely take 1 for sure every game. Right. And then my gloves. My gloves.
Oh, your gloves. I didn't even think about that.
I use a new pair of gloves every game, unless I was like on a roll, and if I kept a clean sheet the week before, and I was like, but I probably went through, God, how many games this season? 40, 50 games. I probably went through 150 pairs of gloves with training and games.
Wait, would you would open the brand new pair for game day?
No.
Or would you break them in?
I break them
the
in
week?
for 2 days. Yeah,
but you wouldn't want to keep them broken in like a baseball glove. You need to break in like
no, because I could get them. I could get them. I could get them perfect in 2 days. Yeah, and then boots. And boots, I tried to keep my boots. Now we're both Nike guys, so your supplier will come out with new colors, and so I don't even know what the cadence is, every 6 weeks or every 8 weeks. So I would try and stay with my boots as long as I could. Yeah. But when they bring out a new color, contractually you have to wear it. But yeah,
that was
boots.
worst.
I didn't go through a lot.
I'm thinking you guys made fun of me the last time I asked follow-up questions, so I won't be doing that anymore. So I'm moving on in my.
Gotta make fun of
you.
This question is from Kimmy via email, and she said, "As an outsider to the game, I always thought that if a goal was scored, it was the goalie's fault, as it is their job to block shots.
She's right.
And logically, it seems that if the ball goes in, they didn't block the shot."
That's right.
I'm following you, Kimmy. So far, we're on the same page. I am learning, however, that it is not always the goalie's fault.
No, it is.
Can you explain to someone who never played why this would be the case? It seems like a silly question, I know, but I struggle to understand, for example, how a field player may have done something incorrect that eventually led to a goal, and there is nothing a goalie could have even done to try to save it. I will just say one thing. I feel like we talked about this recently with something that happened with the U.S. men's national team. Like, why is Tim Ream passing the ball to the goalie kind of thing? So, Kimmy, maybe go back and listen to one of those episodes of the show too. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's millions of people who agree with Kimmy, and they're in my they're in my direct message.
Say hundreds of millions.
Yeah, you're shy. I think. Yeah. I mean, I think what I would say about as you begin to grow in the game, and Landon and I are analysts, and we understand the game, and a lot of people do it at a high level. You begin to realize that goals come from compound errors. So every now and again, a guy's going to pick up a ball and go bang, and you're like, well, we can't really add any errors up. That just happened. But if you start to look at Tim Ream was a perfect example, right? The Tim Ream goal, and Landon and I talked about this. Not just Tim Ream and Matt Freese, but if you go into a weekend and watch soccer, you could rewind the tape probably 20 or 30 seconds and go, that guy missed that. That guy should have made a better decision. Bang, goal. And maybe the goalkeeper's involved in that. And so the majority of goals get scored based on compound errors throughout the team. So, but yeah, that's the goal. That's why the goalkeepers have the responsibility and do what they do. That their job is to save the ball ultimately. So,
yeah, and that's, I mean, because you were so good at it, is why you're on the #1 soccer podcast in this country, and other guys aren't, right? But you can almost assign. By the way, I've been asked pretty much every question in the world. I've never been asked that question. Well, I've never heard that question asked. It's a phenomenal question, Kimmy. You could almost assign a percentage-ish of blame, which would be, I think, accurate, because in a lot of cases, like the Tim Ream one we can use as an example, the first pass back to him, you got to put a lot of blame on Tim Ream, but in that moment, then his decision-making, Matt Freese's decision-making should be better. And then when the guy picks up the ball, there's not any real blame in that because the guy bangs it into the far post. But like, you can, in some instances you say the goalie absolutely should have saved that. In some instances you say 0.0 chance, and usually it's somewhere in between.
Yeah, and you make a really good point, just to put a bow on it. If you just get someone wallops the ball, if Landon picks up the ball against me and he just smashes it and I have no chance, there's no blame. But if there's a decision to be made, like in the Matt Freese case, if there's a decision to be made, if someone stitches me up, I'm in control of my decision making. Don't always get it right, and I might fail and make the wrong decision. But no matter what happens in front of me, I'm in control of my own decision making, right? So if someone gives me a horrible hospital ball back to me, right, I can say, well, you're dumb, you shouldn't play me that ball. But I'm in control of whether I try and control it, bring it down, pass it, or just lump it into the stands. So if that ball goes in the back of the net, I can go back to the compound errors of like, well, he shouldn't have done this and he shouldn't have done that. But ultimately, the last final decision rest with the goalkeeper.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to do that anymore.
No,
okay.
No follow-up. There are no dumb questions except follow-up questions.
From Jordan.
Okay. So this is it. I'm only asking you one more question, and I've had it with the two of you. Josh via email says, and I think this is a lovely question. How are you guys feeling? You guys both have had long careers at the highest level. Are you hurting or are you feeling okay? And how much is fitness important to you now? After a lifetime of having to stay at your maximum fitness, which I feel like, Landon, you just talked about some of that. Does that become ingrained or are you just done with it?
Such a great question.
Thank you for caring about us. There's so many people. There are so many people who don't care about us in the soccer world. We get criticized all the time. We get yelled at by soccer parents.
Yeah.
There's so many things that happen, but thank you for caring. Landon?
Man, it's not just an age thing. It's just miles on your body too. And sometimes when I'm still look like I'm physically in decent shape. And so some people will be like, oh, why don't you do this? Or why don't, and I'm like, you have no idea how much it hurts. Like if I went and ran a mile today, just my whole body, but especially like knees and things like, oh, it just aches. And that's just a cumulative, your body just being worn down and worn out. What's interesting for me is, and it's a little different for Tim, but he was getting a workout, right? Like an aerobic workout too. But I was doing that an hour and a half every day for like 25 years. And when you stop that, and especially someone who's deals with depression and like that is a huge piece of not feeling depressed is working out and having endorphins and getting your body going. And so when you don't have that built in for your schedule, it becomes difficult, right? And my wife always knows, she's like, you need to work out. Like, oh, shoot, I need to work out because that part was just natural and a given. And now it's such a pain to like go work out and like, it's so boring and annoying, but it does suck to not have that built into your everyday life anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a, the running part. So like I tell people all the time, like, so I stay fit. It's something that I love. I love to be fit. I have control over it. I work out every day. The running part, like, so I couldn't run a mile without something either like popping or tearing, right? And because my muscle fibers are so broken down that literally I can go, and then by the end of it, I can feel my calf doing this, and I'm like, that's gonna go.
That's amazing.
So I can do bike and ski erg, and I can do tons of aerobic activity. I just can't run. That pounding, my body is too broken down. And the other thing I'll do, which I found really interesting, because I've had like 2 muscle tears from doing, one was playing like flag football, like with my kids, and one was playing soccer. Just like I jumped into like an adult league for 1 game, and that was
stupid.
It.
Yeah.
Right. But what I realized is any controlled movement that my body, that like if it's like a deadlift or a squat or any sort of like movement that I know my body, I'm telling my body to do, there's no problem. The second I get into a reactionary situation, playing basketball, whatever it is, and I have to change direction, bang, it's immediate. Like within 20 minutes, my muscles fatigue and I feel something pop. It's crazy. So I have to be in control of all the movements.
So in short, we feel like crap.
We're old.
Yeah.
It was worth every second.
Amen.
Landon, now that I have heard the two of you say this, I'm wondering if I should maybe side with you on the question of how many of the Lady Vols are going to score on Tim in this penalty shootout. Because
here's the thing, though.
It's 4 yards.
Here's
it's 4
the
yards.
thing.
I'm in control. I know if I'm going left or right.
And like, there's a reason why he's the best ever. Like the competitive. But when I golf with people or do you think they're like, God, how do you like do that? Or how did you make that putter? I'm like, dude, you just either have that or you don't. And he's got it. So my money's on Tim.
Landon. Lady Vols, listen up.
Listen up, Vols.
I'm coming for you. You know when I'll be there. I'm gonna release a date, but you better be sharpening those tools. Are you gonna come then? Are you gonna come to Knoxville?
I would love to. When is it?
It's I want to say. I
Did
think
you say
October.
Nashville or Knoxville?
Knoxville.
I've never been to Knoxville.
You'll love it.
I know.
Here's
I want to go around a
Great Smoky
football
Mountains,
game.
man.
Let me check the schedule. I think it's going to be a Thursday, like the 23rd. Let me check the women's soccer schedule and the football schedule, because we'll get you to a game.
Let's go. Would love that.
Landon Donovan at the Lady Vols, Tim Howard penalty shootout. Wow.
I just like this because it means that Landon's going to come back and tell us what really happened.
Yeah, I mean,
You're
Tim will try
it.
to. No, you'll edit the video. So.
I won't edit the video.
Yeah,
I won't edit the video. I'm here for it,
guys. I will give you the real behind the scenes.
You'll see it all. Thanks.
All right.
All right. Thanks, JR.
Guys.
Thanks, JR.